Okay, so let's continue our discussion as we walk along this path. Okay? We're going to walk along this path all the way around Stanley Park. And while we do that, we're going to talk. We're going to have this conversation. 5 parts. I took my gloves off, warming up a little bit. So, we looked at number 1, religion. And each of us do have some kind of understanding about what religion is, what our faith is, what makes sense to us. And by the way, I didn't say this in the last part, but we really discover what our faith is, what our belief system is, in the crossroads of life. In the foxholes, they say, when there's a war going on. Look at these beautiful trees, by the way. Aren't those something else? Gorgeous trees. Yeah. So when things are going difficult, that's when we somehow learn to appreciate whatever it is that really makes sense, or we do some serious searching for the truth about faith, about our religion. So let's go to number 2, and let's talk about politics, okay? Politics, like all of these 5 areas, are polemic discussion points. Right now, in fact, there is censorship going on in the world. And there always has been, to one degree or other, in different countries, different places. People that felt threatened by freedom and open discourse, open discussion, and so attempt to squash, push down thoughts that they might not agree with. What I'm suggesting we do, you and me, is that we have open and honest discussions about what we think about these 5 areas. So, number 2 is politics. Every country has a political structure. Every country has a government, right? Some have a government that is or should be for the people, by the people, and other countries have other forms, other shapes, other systems that may or may not make sense. I'm not sure what the government is like in your country. My father, who died about 5 or so years ago and went to heaven, was born in the Soviet Union, in Russia. And at that time, it was a socialistic, communistic catastrophe of a government system. His parents and grandparents, they had come from other parts in Europe, Germany, Holland, so forth, and they had had means and a good life, and for some reason had decided to go where they thought maybe the grass was greener. There were definite reasons for their moving and experiencing what came to be something that they would eventually flee from illegally to Canada. My dad and his sisters, my dad was 16 when he left the Soviet Union by ship from London, train and other trucks and whatever means he could do to get there. And he had a sponsor in Canada, and when he arrived, he was able to go work on his fruit farm and pay off his travel debt. And but he came to Canada because he was looking for a different kind of freedom, as was his family. They wanted to experience what they could not experience where they were. My view and my belief of politics and government has to do with So, government, politics for me, and what's best has to do with strong leadership that understands what it's like to be a servant, what it's like to take the trust that people place in that person, man or woman, and make decisions, govern, set direction and vision. So, a strong leader of a country or a strong leader of a state or province or prefecture or city or town or village will be one who cares deeply and prioritarily, number one, ichiban, for their people and their people's best short-term and long-term interests, and everything they do will reflect that. They're not there to be some kind of mini king and build their own little fortune and empire, which it appears most do. Why do I say all these things, apart from it's been on my mind? I say these things because I want all of us to understand we play a part in who our leaders are. We play a part in who we choose, who we decide, and how we help shape our children and our children's children and beyond. When I think about politics and government, I think leaders should, number one, take care of whatever their population base is. That's number one. Then Number two, it's connecting with the next level up until ultimately there's a connection with the rest of the world. Not what I see happening in too many places right now, the exact opposite. Globalists, people that have certain priorities that to me are not priorities at all, but personal agenda items, do not help people living in their country or their area down to the smallest village. So I believe that nationalism is important. I believe that we need to focus on the people around us. So how does this look? The leader of Canada should focus on what's best for Canada. Not somewhere else in the world, and certainly not their own bank account or their own personal agenda, but focusing on what's actually short-term, long-term good for the country and for the people that live in this country and that are moving to this country. People that come from all over the world. Diversity. That bring all kinds of excitement, nuances, differences, cultures, foods, languages, and the rest, which makes it exciting. That needs to be a leader's focus of Canada, of Japan, of the United States, of every country, and every area. You know, the province, the state, the governor, the premier, down to the mayor of the local city, town, village, needs to do the same. Needs to focus in on the well-being of their people. Very important. Then, as a secondary item, they can begin to look at ways in which they can connect with those outside their primary area of responsibility. So that's what I think about politics and government. What do you think? I'm really interested to hear what you think. So comment or send me your thoughts on any of the social media platforms. Again, you can find me at Advisor Danny, and you can let me know what you think about religion or about politics, government. It's okay. We're not going to fight. We're going to agree to disagree, or we're going to agree to adjust our thinking. We're certainly going to enjoy living, laughing, loving, and embracing the truth together, right? See you for number 3 very soon. It's coming up just ahead as we walk all the way around Stanley Park. Next up, media.